and today we have got a short, quick HIIT workout for you. All you need is a mat or just your body, and we're gonna get rocking and rolling. If you have not warmed up though, you're gonna pause this workout and you're going to warm up. Just give me about like a 3 to 5 minute warm up, just getting that heart rate up, and then bring it on back to this video so you're ready to go and we're staying injury free. We're gonna be working into the lower body, then the upper body, and then finish up with the abs. We got 3 moves in each section, and we're going to be working for about 30 seconds on with a 20-second rest, and we are going to be doing 2 rounds of each move. So our first move in the lower body is going to be squats with a 90-degree turn. So I'm going to have feet about shoulder width apart. I'm going to sink it down to squat. As I jump up, I'm going to rotate my feet and face them towards the left, but my upper body is still facing forward. Then I'm gonna hop back to the middle, sink it down to a squat, and then rotate facing to the right. So what that looks like fast is sinking it down, quick little rotation, and switching sides. Then move number 2 is gonna be a rocket squat. I know, right? Sorry guys, that bird sounded like it hit the window, so I got distracted. That's life. We're gonna bring the feet shoulder width apart. Rocket squats are my favorite way to work into acceleration to deceleration and power. So we're gonna sink down, and you are going to explode up as you land. Instead of landing right into that squat, you're gonna come into a minor squat, and you're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Explode up, 3, 2, 1, and explode up. And then we're gonna finish with squat pulses. Choice, if you want, of going narrow, pulsing it out, regular pulsing it out, or sumo. I'll let that be your choice in the 2 rounds. So let's start with those squat 90-degree turns. We're gonna go here in 3, 2, and 1. Sink it down, quick little 90-degree turn. Remember, we're working into the hips. Now, say you can't jump, here, keep moving. I'm just gonna talk and give you the modification. If you cannot rotate, what you're gonna do is you're gonna squat, pivot, squat, pivot, and that way we're kind of working at least in different dimensions. And if you're like, my floor doesn't allow me to pivot, then you're just gonna give me regular squats, okay? As long as we're moving, we're good. Give me 3, 2, take a rest. 1, nice job. Okay, heart rate should be up, breathing should be heavy. That's very normal, especially when working into cardiovascular endurance. We've got about 10 seconds here, and you got the rocket squats. I personally like to start with that jump, then land and go into the 3, 2, 1. You can start with the 3, 2, 1. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna explode up, land, 3, 2, 1. Explode up, land softly, 3, 2, 1, boom. Now, you can still do this, once again, if you can't jump. You're gonna bring those feet shoulder width apart. You're gonna go down for 3, 2, 1. Come up onto the balls of the feet, lifting those heels up, finding balance, and then sinking it down again. Your goal through this motion is not to land standing up, then go into it. See if you can bend the knees. Start to land in that squat. This is a big skill set when it comes to squat jumps. It's gonna be a lot better on your knees. It's gonna really build into the muscles. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Nice job. Squat pulses to finish up round 1. And once again, you can be narrow, regular, or sumo. All right, let's go here in 3, in 2, and 1. I'm just gonna go with shoulder width stance. I'm gonna sink it down. I'm gonna pulse it out. Now when I pulse it out, a couple things to really be aware of is I'm squeezing the glute cheeks together. I am really activating them. And then I'm thinking about the core, and I'm hugging the core in. And then I'm focusing on the breath, breathing in, exhaling out. I'm finding these constant, flowy little pulses. You can go fast, you can go slow. Choice is yours. You only have 5, 4, 3, sink it lower, 2, and 1. Stand it up, shake it out. 20-second rest right here. We're gonna go back up to the top, squat to 90-degree turns. If you have a harder surface that you're allowed to pivot on, you're gonna do the squat to the pivots. And if needed to, just give me regular squats. Let's go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sink it down, and quick 90-degree turn. Nice job. Really making sure we're finding power and speed. So you want to think about really tapping those feet and quickly coming back here. You're going to need good shoes, by the way. If you have kind of loosey-goosey shoes, right, that don't provide support, we're going to have a little bit of trouble working into this. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, take a rest, 1. Nice job. Once again, heart rate should be up because we're working into speed on that guy. You can always put your hands on your knees, bounce back and forth. We've got 10 seconds right here. We're gonna go into those rocket squat jumps. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go right here. So I like to start with that squat jump, and then I go down to it. 3, 2, 1. Explode up, land softly. 3, 2, 1. Finding that control, allowing myself to work into that deeper squat. Now, once again, if we can't jump, we get petite. The goal is to move, but you can sink it down for 3, 2, 1. Up on the balls of the feet. 3, 2, 1. Up on the balls of the feet. And that actually is harder to me because I want to go right into that deep squat. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Almost done with the legs. You got one more round, squat pulses. Now if you did regular stance or shoulder stance like me, maybe we're gonna go more narrow this time, or maybe you're vibing with the sumo. Either way, work into just a little bit of a different section of the muscle, have fun with it. Let's go here in 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna go narrow, so feet hip distance apart, sinking it down, chest is up, core is engaged. Still squeezing the glutes. My knees are staying in line. My toes should never be lifting up just like this. We don't want that, okay? When we do squats, biggest thing is weight is in the heels, and I sit back in that chair, and then my big toe is gonna be flat on that ground. So that's gonna be my stabilizing point to my glute. If you're feeling in your lower back, think about engaging that core and suck that navel in. You're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Take a rest. Nice job. Whew. Grab some water if you need it. Let's move on to the arms. All right, so I'm going to kind of show from different angles just because I'm tall. I want to make sure I'm still in the shot. You got 3 moves for the upper body, and they are going to be in plank. So if we tend to have a lot of plank flexion issues, don't worry. In those wrists, I'll make sure to give you guys modifications so you're good to go. First move is shoulder tap. So come into that arm extended plank. Spread the legs out wide. This is going to give you a good base. From here, I'm going to hug the navel in. Opposite hand taps opposite shoulder. You can come down onto the knees if you need to modify for that guy. I'll make sure to demonstrate that. Move number 2, commando push-ups or plank to forearm plank. So coming down onto the forearm, back up onto the hands. That is move number 2. And then we are going to finish with 3 count down, 1 count up push-up. So coming into that arm extended plank, we're going to go down for 3, 2, 1, press up in 1. All right. This is where if you have a mat, it's really good to cushion those wrists, especially if we are working into a flexion. I'm going to be giving different moves just to work into that plank for those who can't hold that arm extended plank, because we want you guys to be involved. Same thing, 30 seconds on, 20-second rest, 2 rounds of those 3 moves. Let's start with those shoulder taps. I'll face this way. We're going to go in 3, in 2, and 1. So, finding that plank, spread the feet out wide, opposite hand taps opposite shoulder. The reason I like for those legs to be wide, and I'll show from this angle, is because what happens a lot of the time is our hips want to roll. And we want to think about keeping that body still. I want you to think about engaging that core, working just in that bend of the elbow to tap. And this is really tough for a lot of us. So if it's something that we need to practice, no big deal. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Take that rest. Nice job. All right, now, if you're like, man, Al, you didn't give me any modifications in my poor wrists, you would just come into a forearm plank and hold. For this move, we're going to do commando push-ups. So this is the one where you're down and up. You can come to the knees to help with this one as well. And this guy, if you can't, once again, go into that unextended plank, you're gonna give me dolphins. Forearm plank, up into the pike, shift forward into the plank. That is for those who truly cannot do arm extended plank. Don't go to that as a modification, okay? You go down onto the knees if you can do that arm extended plank. Let's go here in 3, in 2, and 1. So down onto the forearms, back up onto the hands. And I'm gonna really focus on alternating which hand comes up first. So that way I'm alternating and not just always pressing up with my dominant side. You can absolutely come to the knees. This is such a good way to build into a deep core, but also work into those push-ups because we're only doing a unilateral movement, right? One side is pressing up while having support from the other. Give me 3. You've got this. 2. Take a rest. 1. Nice job. Okay. Now we're into those push-ups, okay? So if you are one, once again, that really struggles with that arm extended plank, it's like a no-go, right? We don't have that support needed for maybe some tools that we use at the gym. You are gonna come into a forearm plank, spread the feet out wide, and tap one hand in front of you and then the other, okay? And try to keep that body nice and still. Otherwise, 3 counts down, 1 count up in that push-up. Let's go here in 3, 2, 1. Encouraging you that if you're working on trying to come off of the knees, start off of the knees, right? You're at your most powerful now. So I always tell people, like, do 1 off of the knees, 1 on the knees. The 1 on the knees is gonna be more supported. You might be able to go a little bit lower, but as long as we're not doing like little bends like this for the push-ups, right? Give yourself credit to go a little bit further down, but you don't have to bring the chest to the ground for it to be a real push-up. And you can come down onto the knees, right? To find that support once you get super fatigued and tired. 3, 2, 1, take a rest. Biggest issue I've been seeing, and it's a very common deal, I do too, especially when I'm tired, is our neck with push-ups. We tend to lead with the neck because we just want to look down here and let this go as we work into the push-ups. So I tell people, look in front of your fingertips so that neck is up. It doesn't mean kink the neck, just look along front, keep that neck neutral. It's going to help loads into building into your deltoids, into the lats, and into the back. We're going to start back up at the top, shoulder taps, I'll face this way. Let's go in 3, in 2, and 1. So we're finding our steady plank, feet are nice and wide, working on keeping nice and still. Core is engaged. We can even bring the legs in, drop to the knees. Work right there. Modification, hold the plank. Give me 5 more seconds. Right here, think about that navel up and in. I'm still looking in front because I'm in that plank. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Nice job. Roll out those wrists. Shake out the upper body. Starting to feel that sweat a little bit more. Commando push-ups coming our way. Let's go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So once again, spreading the feet out nice and wide. Down on the forearms, back up on the hands. The reason I like to go slower than what you'll see on videos is because the hip is going to want to wave again. And a little wave for this guy isn't bad because logically, as I'm coming up, right, I'm going to have to kind of shift my weight just a little bit. The goal is just not to open up that body. Remember, if you're not able to go into that arm extension for the wrist flexion, you're in dolphins. So booty comes back, shift forward into the plank. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, take a rest, 1. Whew. All right, final move for the upper body, then we're finishing up with those abs. And what we got is, for those who cannot do arm extended planks and do those push-ups, you're gonna be in a forearm plank, tapping one arm in front, otherwise 3 counts down, 1 count up. Start off from the knees, start to build into that strength, then you can drop down onto the knees. Let's go here in 3, in 2, and 1. So So I'm in my arm extended plank. I'm going to check in with the neck, right? So bring it up. Nice neutral spine. Engage the core. 3, 2, 1. Press up. 3, 2, 1. Press up. When it comes to push-ups, a lot of us still want to come out into that T and come out to the side and have the elbow in line with the shoulders. I want you to think about pushing those elbows behind you. Instead of creating a T, you're creating a V. It's going to really dig into those triceps. I was going to say trapezoids. I don't know where that came from. It's going to dig into your triceps a lot more. It's going to really work into the chest, but that is going to give you a much better form and strength. You've got this. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Take that rest. Nice job. Roll out those wrists. All right, let's flip it onto our back. We're going to finish here with abs. And we're just going to kind of go to the basics because we've done a lot of planks today. So we're going to work into crunches first. Feet planted, hip distance apart, hands behind the head. I'm going to do what's called a Pilates ab prep. So as I lift my head and shoulders, I'm going to do a slight chin tuck. Keep like a tennis ball distance between the chin and chest. Eye gaze is through my thighs. And then I'm going to pull the belly button down as I lift my shoulders up and I work into that spinal flexion, right? Kind of in that C curve. Come halfway up, bring it down. If you really struggle with that spinal flexion, even like a little bit goes a long way, but you can have the fingertips in front of you, and a lot of people work really well with a place to reach. So you just press the fingertips forward, and you may not go up as high, but once again, if you're pulling down the belly button and engaging the core, you're still going to work into it. Basic crunch is move number 1. Move number 2, sit up with the rotation. Feet stay exactly where they're at, hands behind the head. Slight ab prep, I'm going to sit up, rotate, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Bring it down, sit up and rotate to the other side. Then I'm going to finish up with double crunch, legs up, zip together, tabled or reversed, tabletop, hands behind the head. Do the ab prep, crunch, tap elbows outside of the knees, bring the upper body down, open up the elbows, close the elbows as I crunch up. I'm going to take off my hat. You're going to see my sweet hat hair. I know it's really awesome. Actually, it's not bad right now, so we'll go with that. All right, guys, get yourself ready. Let's work into that basic crunch here. We're going in 3, in 2, and 1. Hands behind the head. So remember, as I lift my head and shoulders, I'm going to slightly tilt my head so my eye gaze is towards my knees or in between the thighs as I crunch and lift and lower. Crunches are one that is good in my book to work into a little bit more speed, so long as you're pulling from the abs. Meaning I'm not pressing forward and just cranking my neck down and just leading with the elbows, right? Because if I'm trying to lead with my upper body, my abs are just in it for the ride and they're not going to get the workout they deserve. Exhale as I come up, inhale as I come down. You've got 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Nice job. We've got sit up to a rotate. Now, for those who have more of like a flat thoracic, which is very common, that's your mid-back, and it's hard to work into that flexion, right? A sit-up is actually a really hard thing for you. You won't get all the way up, or your feet lift so high off the ground for you to try to even get up to those knees. So if that's the case, you're just going to give a little crunch and rotate and work from just a shorter distance. Let's go here in 3, in 2, and 1. So we're going to sit up and we're going to rotate. Rotating, bringing opposite elbow to opposite knee. Exhale as you come up. Now my feet need to stay glued to the ground, and so do yours. So if you struggle keeping those feet down and you've got to lift them to come up, stick them underneath the couch. Take some of the bigger dumbbells so your feet can go under those. Anything to help give you tactile feedback. Nice job. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, take a rest, 1. Nice job. Whew. All right. We're going to finish with that double crunch, and then we're just going to do this one more time. We're going to make it more of a burnout round just to finish it up because it is HIIT. So legs together, reverse tabletop, hands behind the head. You're going to crunch, tap elbows outside the knees, and bring it down. You can cross one ankle over the other if that feels good. Let's go here in 3, in 2, and 1. Crunch, tap elbows outside of the knees. again, eye gaze is in that slip between the thighs. If you want something more challenging, if you have the legs crisscrossed, you're gonna uncrisscross them, zip the legs together, lower the heels closer to the ground. So instead of reverse tabletop, we're almost like trying to create that mountain. You're gonna feel the core fire up right away. And then you're gonna bring the knees up to the elbows and bring the elbows up to the knees and work into a little bit of a longer lever. And that's gonna really make this tougher. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, take a rest. 1. All right, we are almost there. Here's the deal. You're gonna do a minute and 30 seconds of straight work. We're gonna go through all 3 moves back to back to back, no rest. So you're automatically switching. After that, we are done. I'm gonna have you shut off the video and do a cool down or continue on with your workout on your own. So let's go here, starting with the basic crunch in 3, in 2, and 1. Hands behind the head, slight head tilt. We call that the Pilates ab crunch. Crunching up. I almost went to the rotation. Elbows. Anytime you have your hands behind the head, it is there to just support your neck, okay? Because our neck can get fatigued in our muscles. It is not meant for you to shell in and work with like elbows touching together, because that can actually like really round in your humerus, and we don't want that. But we also don't want your elbows just kind of like flaring open and just not being active. So I tell people all the time, like, let them loose, bring them in. They're gonna be in my peripherals the whole time, and I'm just gonna work from there. So now they're active, but they're engaged in the right way. We're moving with intention. You've got 3, 2, let's go. Sit up, rotate. Oh, this should feel much tougher. If you need to modify and you can't come all the way up, you're gonna crunch and do that slight rotation. And by this point, your rectus abs, that top layer, is screaming. I know mine is already, by the way. Good, you've got 5, double crunch in 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse tabletop legs, you can stack one on top of the other. Hands behind the head, crunch. Tap the elbows outside of the knees. If we want to make it harder, uncrisscross the ankles, zip the legs together, lower the heels, tap the elbows outside of the knees. Good, you've got 5, almost there. 4, 3, 2, take a rest. 1. Oh, nice job today, guys. Way to show up, way to put in that work. I'm Coach Al, and I will see you guys later. Bye.